So we've covered a lot of traumatic stories here on Honest Gaming History. We've gone over the depressing ass lore of Klaus Strife from Final Fantasy, the vengeful story of Scorpion from Mortal Kombat, and the even more depressing and more vengeful tale of Kratos from God of War.
But according to y'all, we haven't even scratched the surface of sad boy hours in this series. It looks like there is one character in particular who Dochi has been avoiding for years that has one of the most traumatic backstories in gaming history. This man has been betrayed, beat, tortured, and practically lives on the brink of madness.
And the worst part is that he's been through all this while in the infinite expanse of space. Y'all know how scary space is, bruh? Like, shit can go wrong on Earth and you can find a way to bounce back. But when shit goes wrong in space, while there are mutated corpses trying to kill you, just pray. Just try your best to survive and pray.
Nah, praying ain't gonna work for the person we're talking about, because the subject of today's Honest Gaming History lecture is Isaac Clarke from the dark world of Dead Space. Play that intro, son.
So before we get into the story, I just want to say thanks for 140k subs. Appreciate you guys for supporting for as long as you have, and for all the newcomers to the Donchi fam, welcome. We're glad you're here and we hope you're enjoying the content.
Yeah, for real, because I don't understand what y'all see in this dude. I mean, if y'all come for me, I get that. But this dude? Come on, son.
Conscience, what are you?
I mean, he be dropping the corniest of jokes, starts video ideas and just drops them, and my guy low-key can't even read. I know y'all have seen the Manoir videos.
Last time on Humble, yo, all messing up all these names. Raise the palin. Bro, why are you choosing violence today?
Cause the fam hasn't heard a good Donchi roast in a minute, and I've been itching to flame your ass. Oh, frog in the face ass nigga.
Son, you are not bringing the frog jokes to.
Yes, I am bringing the frog jokes to the YouTube channel. Yo fam, tell me this man don't look like a frog. Like, look at this man, bro. But I'ma chill for now, since we have a video to do or whatever. Please understand though, the cooking session has only been paused. Whether it be in this video or another, Chef Conscience will be back with the flames.
Just ignore it, don't you? Focus on the video game lore. Alright, so the Dead Space franchise spans a multitude of media. There have been movies, comics, and books created for the series. However, everything started with the first Dead Space game, developed by the EA Redwood Shore studio. After Dead Space's critical success, the development team rebranded to Visceral Games and proceeded to make the rest of the Dead Space series. Unfortunately though, the studio got shut down in 2017 by their parent company EA.
However, Dead Space isn't dead yet. The horror survival series is set to get a remake in 2022 and is being developed by Motive Studios, another studio under EA's belt that worked on both Star Wars Battlefront 2 and Star Wars Squadrons.
While the Dead Space movies and novels served as a way to expand on the universe, the video game trilogy focused on this franchise's main protagonist, Isaac Clarke. This leads us to the first Dead Space game. We're in the 26th century. Earth has gone through some world-ending shit. So to survive, the remaining humans created the CEC, the Concordance Extraction Corporation. This group is in charge of collecting resources around the galaxy by literally cracking planets and extracting whatever materials they found useful. Thanks to this practice, the Earth is now in much better shape than it was a few decades ago. Humans have performed over 30 extractions with the USG Ishimura leading the fleet of planet-cracking ships.
Enter Isaac Clarke. This man was born in 2465 to Powell Clarke, a ship designer, and Octavia Clarke, a member of the Church of Unitology. Now, although Isaac's father was pretty much MIA due to work, the kid followed in his footsteps by acquiring an education in mechanical and electrical engineering. His mother was a problem though.
She was a unitologist, someone who believed that all humans were created by aliens, and that through death, we'll be reunited with these alien gods through an artifact known as a marker. These guys will become very important real soon.
As a devout unitologist, Isaac's mother thought it would be better to give her money to the church than to pay for her own son's college tuition. You hate to see it.
So because of that, Isaac was forced to go to a less prestigious college rather than the top-tier engineering academy he was selected to go to. For this reason, he hates the Church of Unitology, and his mom isn't that great in his eyes either.
Nevertheless, our boy fought against the odds and still graduated with high honors. Then after that W, his life was pretty lit for a few years. He worked in the Ishimura for an undisclosed amount of time, he got himself a girlfriend named Nicole Brennan, and they moved in together. My boy's making big boy moves.
But everything goes to shit in 2508, when the Earth government receives a distress signal from the USG Ishimura. Isaac volunteers to join the crew tasked with figuring out what happened, but things seem off about this. The Ishimura was last reported orbiting Aegis 7, a planet that the CEC deemed as an illegal mining site. What the hell were they doing there?
With that concern, Isaac and his crew board the Kellion and head to their target. Once there, Isaac and some of the crew board the Ishimura after failing to gain contact with the ship.
After being on the ship for mere minutes, most of the crew gets attacked by these horrific mutated corpses known as necromorphs. Deadass, these things are terrifying, fam. Kudos to Visceral Games for creating this nightmare fuel for a regular enemy.
Following the death of most of his crew, Isaac is left alone with a bunch of these things running around.
He soon gets contacted by the team's commander, Zach Hammond, and the computer specialist, Kendra Daniels. Together they start repairing the ship while avoiding the necromorphs. While doing their fixes, they find out that before the Ishimura even got here, the inhabitants of Aegis 7 were losing their minds. Riots were breaking out, people were killing each other for no reason, it was a mess. Apparently this widespread mania was caused by a marker on the planet. The Ishimura crew came to retrieve that marker, and it turned the majority of them into kill-happy necromorphs. The question is, why were they here to retrieve that marker in the first place?
Anyways, the small team continues their repairs until they're able to get in contact with another ship in the area, a military vessel known as the USM Valor.
However, the Valor has been overtaken by necromorphs too. So instead of coming in to save Isaac and the crew, it crashes into the Ishimura, making their lives even worse.
These guys are really taking L after L.
And Commander Hammond has had it with the bullshit. He tells Isaac, fuck the CEC and fuck the chain of command. This mission is a dub. We out, my guy.
But to do that, they need to salvage the Singularity Core from the Valor. So Isaac goes to do what he's been doing, solving problems for everyone else.
Once on the ship, Isaac gets hit up by Dr. Terrence Kine, the former chief science officer of the Ishimura. He tells Isaac that he has a better idea for the shuttle they plan on fixing, so he tells our boy to come find him. Unfortunately though, after retrieving the Singularity Core, Isaac watches as the necromorph rips Hammond apart.
With their leader dead, now it's just Kendra and Isaac. They continue working on fixing the shuttle, then Isaac finally meets Dr. Kine. This guy tells him that when the Ishimura crew first went to Aegis 7 to take the marker, they found this huge necromorph they deemed the hive mind. This thing is controlling all the necromorphs telepathically.
The only way to stop it is to return the marker back to Aegis 7. That's where Isaac comes in. If he repairs the shuttle, then they can put the marker back where it belongs.
So Isaac is basically just cleaning up the mess of a bunch of idiots who thought they could mess with alien technology.
Yeah, but get this. This marker isn't even alien technology.
Wait, what?
When Isaac and Dr. Kine finally fix the shuttle, the doctor gets shot by Kendra, then she reveals everything. Apparently the marker causing all this trouble is a man-made replica of a marker found on Earth. The man-made marker was placed on Aegis 7 as an experiment, and we all know how that turned out. The Ishimura crew went to retrieve the marker, not knowing that it was a replica, and that made things even worse. So Kendra was sent here by EarthGov to pick up the man-made marker and bring it back to Earth for research.
Why would you bring that menace of an artifact back to Earth when y'all saw what it did to another planet?
For science.
Man, fuck science.
So right after that betrayal, Isaac gets hit up by Nicole, his girlfriend. He's actually been seeing her around a lot while on the Ishimura, which is pretty odd. She helps him recall the shuttle that Kendra is on, but Kendra leaves on an escape pod before it returns.
With the shuttle back, Isaac and Nicole take it to Aegis 7 in order to return the marker to its pedestal. When they manage to do it, everything seems like it's gonna be okay. Or at least as okay as it's gonna get in this game.
But Kendra rears her ugly head again, telling our boy that he failed. She's still taking the marker back to Earth. Then she forces him to watch what really happened to his girlfriend. She was on the Ishimura when the necromorph outbreak occurred. She actually joined the Ishimura mission because Isaac was pushing her to take her career more seriously. But she offed herself when everything was going to shit. The Nicole he saw during the game was just an illusion created by the marker. This realization low-key breaks him. Then Kendra dips with the marker.
However, Kendra must have forgot about the hive mind. The behemoth attacks and kills her before she gets the chance to board the shuttle. Now it's Isaac versus the hive mind.
He uses the last of his energy to fight the thing off, and he manages to defeat it. Then he heads to the shuttle and dips before the planet takes him. On the ship, Isaac finally breathes for a sec and takes off his helmet, showing his face for the first time. He rewatches the video of Nicole's death, but then he's attacked by another Nicole hallucination.
This takes us to Dead Space 2. After everything that happened to him, Isaac was found by a recovery patrol unit and taken to Titan Station. There he was diagnosed with dementia and PTSD, which makes sense when you think about all the shit he saw.
But something more than that was going on with him. The marker imprinted information in his mind, info that the Earth government wants to use. So for the next 3 years, he's subjected to a multitude of experiments in order to get a hold of the information. But the experimentation stops when shit gets real for our boy again.
An unconscious Isaac is woken up by someone named Franco. Thanks to the experiments, Isaac has no memory of the last 3 years, so he's hella confused. Then a necromorph pops up out of nowhere and kills Franco right in front of him.
Turns out another necromorph outbreak occurred on the station, and Isaac is right in the middle of it. He begins fighting his way through the station until he gets a call from someone named Dana. She tells him about the last 3 years of experiments done on him, and apparently his dementia is killing him. The only person that can help him cure it is her.
On top of that, he finds out the reason why another outbreak is occurring is because these idiots went and created another marker using the data imprinted in his mind. So you mean a whole planet losing its shit wasn't enough of a reason for y'all to stop this marker shit? Cool, heard you.
Yeah. Also, Isaac is having hallucinations of his dead girlfriend, but in nightmare fuel mode now. So while these buffoons are out here making markers, my boy Isaac is out here suffering.
You hate to see it.
So Isaac fights his way through necromorphs and troops sent by this station's director, Hans Tideman. Then he finds Data, but it turns out she's a unitologist.
Goddamn, plot, leave my boy alone.
She's like, sorry bro, I lied. I'm not your friend. I was sent here to capture your ass, like on some Pokemon type shit. But before she can do a thing, a government gunship pulls up and starts blasting the place. Now it becomes clear to Isaac that EarthGov and the Church of Unitology are in the middle of a fight because of him. The church wants to use the info imprinted in his mind to create more markers.
Because they want to watch the galaxy burn.
And EarthGov wants him dead so he doesn't destroy the marker they made. So thanks to EarthGov's attack, Isaac is forced to fight his way to safety in the middle of space.
After he flexes for a bit, he lands back on the station, then gets contacted by a Nolan Frost.
This guy was a test subject who was experimented on along with him. He's like, bro, I know some wild shit just happened to you, but your job ain't done yet. We gotta blow up this marker, fam. Me and you both know what this shit does. And Isaac agrees, so he moves forward to meet him. On the way, he runs into another station survivor named Ellie Langford. At first, she denies his help, but later she agrees to join the squad after running into Strauss.
Once they all unite, Tideman decides to just cut the life support on this part of the station, even though there are still innocent lives here. Tideman, the fuck?
So teams stop these menaces, make their way to the marker while dealing with all the problems Tideman throws at them. And since they're messing around in marker territory, Isaac's hallucinations are getting even worse. Things aren't looking good for Strauss either. He's getting wild hallucinations too. My man is tweaking.
The madness pushes him to attack Ellie and stab her eye with a screwdriver. Then he comes at Isaac with the bullshit, and Isaac is forced to kill him.
Damn. It really is L after L with this man.
That's what I'm saying.
Afterwards, Isaac is greeted by the Nicole hallucination again, but this time it's really on that demon time. She throws him up on the wall saying, why do you still hold on to my memory? And here, Isaac admits that he feels guilty about her death. He pushed her to go on the Ishimura mission and she's the only person that mattered to him. After hearing that, the apparition puts him down, stating that acceptance was the final step in his recovery.
With that, Isaac eventually finds Ellie, and they continue Operation Destroy the hell out of that marker.
But once they make it to the government sector of the station, Isaac puts Ellie on a gunship and sends her away. He states that he's already lost too many people. At least she can get out of here safe. Now Isaac is alone, with Tideman's troops still chasing him down.
He makes his way to the marker while diving deeper into madness. The closer he gets to the marker, the more he sees Nicole. Fortunately for him though, she actually helps him get to the marker.
Once he makes it to the artifact, he notices a bunch of necromorphs surrounding it. The mass amount of bodies around the marker then activates the Convergence event, an event that the Unitologists dreamed of, where they all combine into one singular entity. Upon the commencement of this event, he also finds a machine capable of activating the parts of his brain where the marker codes were stored. He uses it on himself, which leads to that iconic scene where you have to watch a needle go through Isaac's eye. This shit is mad uncomfortable.
Now, with his memories restored, he walks up to the marker and encounters Tideman. Clarke finally takes him out, then he's greeted by the Nicole apparition. They share a loving embrace, then the hallucination is like, psych nigga, you gotta die!
This throws Isaac into a heightened state of madness, where he has to fight multiple apparitions. He finds out that as one of the makers of this thing, he has to be absorbed for the Convergence event to occur.
But Isaac's like, you would have thought, and fights his way out of the madness, only to realize that he destroyed the marker in the process.
After the artifact's destruction, Isaac chills and accepts the inevitable. The station is about to go down and he's going down with it. But Ellie returns. She crashes into the roof with the gunship Isaac put her on and saves our boy. After their escape, they actually get into a relationship and move in together on the New Horizons lunar colony. However, the PTSD from the marker situations he was in continues to haunt him. Eventually, Ellie leaves him because of this, and this brings us to the last Dead Space in the series, Dead Space 3.
Isaac is currently distraught over his breakup, but he ain't got time for that because he gets a surprise visit from two members of the Earth Defense Force, John Carver and Robert Norton. They're like, hey, we heard that brain of yours has a secret to the markers. We need that knowledge to destroy another marker.
And at first, Isaac is not having it. He's been dealing with markers for 2 games now. He's done with this shit. However, he finds out that his ex, Ellie, was hired for the job before him, and now she's missing. So he changes his mind and decides to go help them. While trying to escape the city, he finds out about the Circle, this game's antagonistic group. The Circle is a militant force of unitologists being led by Jacob Danik. Their goal is to free the markers from human control, which is why they're attacking the lunar colony, which holds its own marker.
So basically, the unitologists are out here wilding again.
Pretty much, but they're really out here now because EarthGov is pretty much done.
Wait, how?
The Circle, bro! Remember that whole feud between the government and the church? Well, the Circle ended that feud by taking down EarthGov.
So now the only person who can stop these unitologists is Isaac.
Yup, my man just got his heart broken and now he has to save everyone. Again. Anyways, Clarke eventually gets captured by Danik, then is forced to watch as this menace destroys a marker test lab, putting everyone in the colony in danger. Then Danik goes for him, but Isaac manages to escape and join Carver and Norton on the USM Eudora.
They make it to the ship where Ellie was last heard from, and they find her with her crew, but Isaac is tight. He peeps that Ellie is with Norton now.
Damn, our boy's down bad. Regardless, they have more important matters on their hand. Ellie states that the former captain of the ship was obsessed with markers and wrote inscriptions about them in her quarters. The crew has Isaac decipher the inscriptions, and they find out that the captain was researching a device that can be used to control the markers. It's dubbed the Machine, and the inscriptions obsess about turning it off. From this, they surmise that the planet the ship is closest to, Tau Volantis, is the marker homeworld.
Now the plan is to head to Tau Volantis and turn off the machine, but Norton is hella against it. He wants to abort the mission for everyone's safety, but Isaac argues that if they don't do this and end the marker problem once and for all, then a lot more people are gonna die other than them. But instead of listening to Isaac's reasoning, my man is like, oh, you're just with this mission because you still like Ellie. Well, fuck you, bro, she's mine. Yo, Norton, chill.
Since most of the crew is for this mission, they procure a shuttle and head to Tau Volantis. However, since this is dead space, entering the planet ends up becoming a very dangerous task. The debris in space damages the ship and forces them to crash land on the planet. Luckily, Isaac arrives alive, but he's alone and suffering from hypothermia.
He later finds Ellie in the squad after battling through the elements, and this man Norton is still salty about Isaac and Ellie's past. He's like, oh, maybe y'all should get a room. I don't know why you so happy to see him when I'm your man. Yo, Norton, hop off Isaac's nuts.
So Ellie defends Isaac because they need him. Then Santos from the crew says that she may know how to find the machine they're looking for. There was a signal tracking experiment done before that pinpointed the machine's location. They agreed to move forward and try to replicate that experiment, but Danik and the Circle show up with the smoke. After fighting them off, they regroup at the warehouse where that tracking experiment took place. There, they find a huge frozen necromorph known as the Nexus. The scientists who conduct experiments on it theorize that the necromorphs are conduits for the markers' signals. So they built a sensor to track the signal upstream and find the machine.
Unfortunately, it looks like the sensor has been destroyed, so they're going to have to create a new one.
Once done, they use it to successfully track the machine, but Danik and his unitology fanatics find them again. This is when Danik reveals that Norton was working with him the whole time.
I had a feeling this dude was sus.
He gave the menace their whereabouts and promised to give him Isaac in exchange for the rest of the crew's lives. But he should have known not to trust a video game antagonist, especially not one as crazy as this dude. Danik goes in a whole monologue about how he's dedicated his life to freeing the markers and fighting against EarthGov. Then he's like, I lied, nigga. I can't let you guys live. Everybody gonna die.
Luckily, Isaac stops Danik before he can do anything, but he saves Norton in the process. Should have left that salty ass dude to die.
Isaac's retaliation leads to a whole firefight, which leads to the Nexus re-emerging and eating him whole. He shoots his way out, then runs into a very angry Norton. This guy starts going off about how this whole mission is his fault. If it wasn't for Isaac, then he and Ellie would be safe. Then he pulls out the blicky and tries to murder Isaac in cold blood.
Luckily, our man is too real to get murked by some bitch-ass soldier. Isaac shoots the captain in self-defense, then he and Carver dip before more wild shit happens. They reunite with the squad and Ellie is not happy about her boyfriend being dead, even though he was being a dickhead this whole time.
I mean, he was her boyfriend, man.
That doesn't excuse him from being a dickhead, but it's cool because she gets over it. So the team continues on their mission to find the machine, but before they find it, Santos discovers that to turn it off, they need something called the Codex. And to create the Codex, they need the Rosetta research.
Meaning they gotta go on a fetch quest now. They head to Rosetta, but as they ascend the mountain, a big ass necromorph attacks the cargo case that Santos is still on. Isaac is like, nah, nobody else is dying on my watch. But the necromorph is tearing down the whole mountain with it. And even though Isaac is out here doing amazing shit, like my man found in the middle of space, bro, he different. He is not superhuman. So Carver cuts the line holding Santos, and Isaac watches in complete despair as another person dies right in front of him.
This series is just sad as hell, son.
And Isaac is genuinely upset about this, which makes this part hurt even more because he's just trying to be a good person. After the trauma, after the dementia, even after being used to build the thing he hates the most, he still wants to be a hero.
But this plot just keeps handing him L after L. And the worst part is, we ain't even done yet.
They eventually find Rosetta and find out that it's an alien that's been cut into little pieces. When they combine its pieces to form the Codex, Isaac is hit with all of Rosetta's memories. Years ago, Rosetta found a black marker on this planet. After discovering it, the aliens of this planet were inevitably drawn to it like the humans are to their markers now. They built multiple markers and this led to a convergence event happening here. This forced almost the whole population of Tau Volantis along with the markers into orbit, forming a brethren moon. However, before the moon was able to complete, the aliens created the machine in order to freeze over the planet and stop the convergence event.
This means the machine is actually stopping convergence from happening, and the person who was writing "turn it off" on the wall was a freaking psychopath.
This also means that the humans aren't as crazy as we thought. The markers draw organic beings to it. That's why there have been humans who feel obligated to research and build markers. So Isaac tells the squad this, but when he turns, he sees Danik pointing a gun at him. The fanatic snatches the Codex with a new plan. Now he's going to turn the machine off to continue the convergence event. Then he dips, leaving Isaac, Ellie, and Carver to chase after him. But this is when Isaac takes another L, and this one really hits. The lab is being filled with a very dangerous gas, and Ellie needs to stay back to activate the door to get out. Isaac and Carver get through the door, but Ellie knows she can't make it, so she sacrifices herself so her friends can get out. And before she dies, she tells Isaac she loves him. Isaac, why they gotta do you like this, bro?
With another member of the crew gone, Isaac and Carver chase after Danik. On the way, Isaac finds out that this one Brethren moon is not the only problem. There's a whole span of Brethren moons in space, and once one forms, it connects to a marker network. If the other grown Brethren moons latch onto this one's signal, they'll come over to this hood looking for food.
Meaning there's a whole gang of moons they gotta worry about. However, there is a way to stop all this. The machine has another function, the ability to crush a moon. They just need the Codex to activate this feature. They continue on their chase, then finally run into Danik. They take back the Codex from him and continue heading downward to the machine. Once they find it, they're welcomed by a huge underground city. The machine is this city.
They traverse through the place and slowly figure out how to work the machine. Then they head deeper into the city where the controls are.
There, at the heart of the machine, they find Danik with Ellie. She ended up finding a way out of the room, but now she's in this asshole's hands.
Danik threatens to kill Ellie unless they give him the Codex. And at first, Isaac hesitates. But Carver is sick of losing friends too, so he just tosses the guy the Codex.
They do the trade, then Danik immediately puts the Codex in the machine, turning it off and resuming the convergence event. The whole place begins to tear apart, and Danik freaking dies in the chaos.
I would say he deserved it, but he wanted this shit, bro. I hate this dude.
Same. So now that the moon is beelining over here, Isaac kisses Ellie goodbye, then tells her to dip. Then he and Carver force their way through the broken city, only to find the machine in the hands of the moon.
Don't tell me this man Isaac is about to fight a—
This man fights a goddamn moon. Then after he beats it, he uses his kinesis module to literally yank the machine out of its mouth.
Yo, are we sure Isaac isn't superhuman? I mean, fighting a giant necromorph is one thing, but a moon, my guy?
I'm telling you, bro, he's just built different. With the machine within reach, Isaac and Carver turn it back on and start free-falling back to the planet as the Brethren moon comes crashing down. Later, Ellie is seen waiting for her friends to come back, but after hearing nothing, she heads back to Earth in sadness.
She should have waited a bit longer though, because Isaac and Clarke are still alive. They wake up underground in Tau Volantis and start making their way up after arguing about how they even survived that shit.
While looking for a ship to get off this planet, they run into a shit ton of necromorphs, which leaves them confused. Also, Isaac is going through even crazier hallucinations, which leaves them even more confused. If they destroyed what controls the markers, why are these necromorphs even here? And why is Isaac still having hallucinations? This leads to them finding out that the Brethren moon that died already hit up its fellow Brethren moons.
So now they have not one, but two moons to deal with, meaning they gotta get their ass off this planet ASAP so they can warn Earth.
After dealing with more necromorphs and a whole new cult built from the ashes of the circle, they find what they need to leave the planet. But Isaac receives another vision telling him that the moons are on their way to Earth.
They gotta go right the fuck now.
The two of them hop on the ship they procured and beeline it to Earth. When they get there, everything seems normal. But when they try to contact Earth, all they hear is static. Then they peep one of the Brethren moons rising behind Earth. After that, another one arises and throws them into the shadow realm of madness. And sadly, that's where the story of Isaac Clarke ends.
Wait, word? That's it? All that and Isaac still gets a sad ending?
Yeah, no one knows if Isaac is alive or if the rest of Earth is even okay. I mean, I'm gonna go ahead and assume that he's somehow still kicking because he's just a different breed. As for Carver and the rest of Earth though, I don't know. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below. Also, let us know how you're feeling about the remake that's being developed. Are you hyped? Do you think it's gonna do as well as the original? Tell us your thoughts.
Man, I hope this remake leads to a remake of the whole series, so Isaac can at least get a happier ending. He doesn't deserve what happened after everything he's been through.
Word. But with that, end screen. Yo, what up fam, and thank you guys so much for watching another episode of Honest Gaming History. Listen, I've got the message, I understand. There needs to be more honest gaming history. There needs to be more honest gaming history. So, I am going to make an effort to try and release more honest gaming history per month. I'm not sure exactly how much I want to add, but I want to make honest gaming history come out more than just once a month. Honestly, not only do you guys miss it, I miss it. Writing this script was just great. So yeah, expect another honest gaming history real soon. I'm already writing the script and it's on BJ Blazkowicz. I hope I said his name correctly, but yes, BJ Blazkowicz from the Wolfenstein series. But if you enjoy the video, don't forget to like, subscribe if you want to see more of me, and hit that bell if you want to stay notified when I upload new content. Shout out to my amazing patrons. Without you guys, I would not be able to make content like this. Your generous donations have helped me so much over the last few months, especially with COVID and everything, so really appreciate you guys. And special shout out to all the guys who give that extra money, the Gold Squad patrons. Beer Revel, Curtis Clarkson, Daniel Gonzalez, DD, Dylan Boner, G-Haven Esports Team, Go Crazy, Graham Lansborough, Iron Poet, Jakari Scott, Nathaniel Flayful, Soviet Eclipse, Travwell, Victor Garcia, and Zach Haji. Appreciate you guys for the extra love and all that you provide to the channel. But with all that being said, I am off this, so as usual, be easy, stay lit, stay healthy out there, fam. Black Lives Matter, and don't forget, you can do whatever the hell you put your mind to. All it takes is practice and time. Peace out, fam.